There, I kind of lost you for a second. I don't know where you went. Okay, you came back. All right, so I don't know what that was. All right, everyone, we have Nicolle Colvin here, Casey's mom from Colorado, and Nicolle's a longtime member of CDH International. She's also part of the Parent Advocacy Board, or Patient Advocacy Board, and head of fundraising. Nicolle, can you tell us what brought you into CDH world?
Sure. It's been 12, be 13 years in November. My first Casey was born, and he passed away in that following December. And my friend had told me about, at the time, cherubs, and that was kind of what, in May, that was what brought me on, and I've been here ever since. Just kind of as it's progressed and it's evolved to now CDHI.
Wow, I didn't realize you've been here that long. Wow, time is flying by
It
so fast.
has. Yeah, it'll be, well, no, maybe it'll be 12, will it be 12 years? He was born in 2008.
Okay, so 12 years this year,
12
yeah.
years, yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
It's been a
And
long time.
you jumped on board volunteering really quickly.
I
Um,
did. It was a year. So it was his first birthday that I did the first fundraiser. It was the silent auction, Christmas with Casey. We had it was a Christmas event and then a big silent auction.
and you did amazing. Like your first event ever, you knocked it so far out of the park.
Yeah, it was. I'm impressed with myself. I have yet to meet that number again, but maybe one day.
Yeah. How much was it? It was 30, 40. How much was it the first year?
It was 10,000. I think it was just over 10,000.
Oh, I was thinking it was maybe collectively it was that because you did it for a few years.
I did. Yeah.
And you had never done anything like that before, had you?
No, that was my first. First event of anything to do that. Yeah, it was a lot of work, and I was very pleasantly surprised with how well the financial turnout was, how well we did.
And not just the financial turnout, like people on Facebook were so impressed, the ones who went to the event, and the photos were absolutely gorgeous. The whole thing just was so well done.
We had some amazing, my family and my friends, they all came together and it was amazing. They had a lot of good help. We had so throughout the time that I did the Christmas with Casey events, I had two different volunteer photographers who did amazing work, and it was so nice to have that help. And the Santa we had, he was absolutely amazing. He was a great guy.
That is wonderful.
Yeah.
So you came on board on the CPAB about the same time, about a year later or so?
I think so. I can't remember, but I think so. Maybe a couple of years, but yeah.
And we kind of threw you into leading fundraising because you're so good at it. Like, Nicolle, please, 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 please take this. And you did, and God bless you. You've been here all these years sticking it out with us, no matter how frustrating it can get, no matter how hard it is, because fundraising 10 years ago was much easier than fundraising now.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, because society has changed. I mean, now you have Facebook fundraisers, and people are so busy on social media, and people just don't hold as many fundraisers as they did 10 years ago. And I don't know, people just aren't doing real life stuff as much anymore.
I don't think that people donate like they used to.
No, they don't.
Put their money into charities and stuff like that. I don't think that happens like it used to. I think it used to happen a lot more than it does now.
It really did. It really did. It's been like all the charities, because I know a lot of different charities. I have a lot of friends who run different charities, and we all say the same thing. In the past 10 years, the donations have just dropped because
Yeah.
people aren't giving, or people are giving directly to people and not to charities. Since the GoFundMe thing came about,
Yeah.
um, that's been really hard on charities. And I mean, it's great people are getting help, but charities still have to run. I mean, there's so many things we want to do, so many services we used to be able to provide that we can't now. And then also, it's been you in Christmas with Casey was the first time that I realized that as a grieving parent, every year after that first fundraising year is harder. It's so much harder. And I don't think families realize how hard it is to keep that momentum going up when you start something in memory of a child.
Yeah.
And because we see so many people break off and want to do their own thing because their child just died and they've got all this energy and all this love and they want to place it somewhere, and that's wonderful, but no one warns them how hard it's going to be on year 2 or year 3 or year 4, because it's not the same, and
No,
it's the same for them, but it's not the same for everyone else around them, and
no,
it's
it's not.
harder.
And people, I mean, people, I don't know if they forget, but they don't honor your kid like it was, when after the first year or so. And I mean, for me, he was my first. So then having consecutive kids, your energy is non-existent, or your time, there's a lot of other factors too with it just makes it so much more. And I'm not going to say I don't have the time, because that means it's not important. It is very important, but it was just getting my ducks in a row. In So when I did the golf tournament, it was doing it in November, contacting everybody in November to get a tournament set up for July. And it's just because we lost the contact that we had for when we did Christmas with Casey in November around his birthday. So we don't have that contact anymore. We don't have that space. So kind of, and then I kind of to try to branch off to get maybe a different avenue, because fundraising for a silent auction just absolutely wore me out. Like going door to door and business to business and asking for donations, and it's very, very time consuming. But it was I enjoyed it. It was just the drive, I guess, and having other people depend on me, and it was difficult. But yeah, so that was kind of why I had decided to do the golf tournament, because it wasn't quite as door knocking, I suppose you could say. People want to come golf, people want to do that kind of stuff, so it was more of a fun activity. And I've looked into it the past couple years, and for one reason or another, it just had never. I was too late. Who thought in November I would be too late to host a golf tournament in July? But so it was just I guess you're right, losing that momentum, and when you're the only one putting it together.
The great thing about doing a fundraiser for us and working with you is that you can explain that to them so they're not heartbroken.
Yeah.
Because it really, if your family are not excited, a couple years down the road. But to have someone that they can talk to who's been down that road, and you can say, hey, it is what it is, and it's not about you, and it's not disrespectful to your child. It's just, this is how human nature is. But let's look at other avenues that you can fundraise or do something in your child's honor or memory, and you can hold their hand, and so it makes a big difference when it's someone who's already been through that.
Yeah.
And instead of trying to do this on your own, and because you have experience holding fundraisers, you can give them advice going, well, have you tried this, and have you asked for that, and did you remember to get a photographer, and that sort of thing, because they really, this is for our kids, and whether our child survived or didn't survive, we want to not only raise money for other kids, but we want to make our kids proud. And so it's really important that, we feel like we did a good job. And it's wonderful to have someone like you who gets that and knows that we want families to fundraise because we need funds to run the charity, but also we want to give them an outlet to do something amazing and wonderful in their child's name. And it's not all about the money. I mean, it is fundraising and we kind of need the money to function, but it's about honoring these kids and giving back and helping other kids, but doing it in a way that makes the families feel comfortable. And we've had families do galas and golf tournaments and races and baseball games and bowling tournaments, and what am I forgetting? We've had a lot of car shows.
Yeah, car shows.
And car shows are easy ones to put together compared to the other stuff.
Yeah,
because
they are. Especially the one that comes to mind that they do yearly. And they're, they have ties to cars, so it seems like it's pretty, for them, it's a pretty easy put together fundraiser.
Yeah. All you do is find a couple of car clubs, people who like Mustangs or people who like Trans Ams or people like antique cars, and they love an excuse to do a car show. And right now with the virus, you can actually still do car shows.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's still something. Or car parades. I saw another charity was doing a car parade. And so all the cars are paying entrance fees to be in the parade, and they just would drive around the town, and that would be it. I mean,
that's a good idea.
Yeah, and the city easily gave them a permit because what else is anyone doing, and it's good entertainment, especially in a small town. And let a local CDH family lead the parade, and there you go. You could raise $500, $1,000, whatever, in one day with something that raises awareness and cheers up the whole town while we're all stuck inside.
Yeah.
And then I was trying to think earlier this morning of things that people could do with the virus. So I came up with a car parade idea, and then kind of all I came up with. But I'm sure if we put our heads together, we can come up with more ideas.
For sure. It seems like that would be something that would be pretty easy to put together.
Mm-hmm. And right now, so many people are at home. And if you have kids and you're homeschooling and you're juggling a job and all that at home, I get that that's stressful and no one has free time right now with that. But if you don't have kids at home, or your kids are retired, or you're not working and you're bored out of your mind, this is a great time to help a good cause. And then Facebook fundraisers are super easy. And we've had families raise a lot of money. Yeah. It takes 5 minutes to set it up. That's it. A story, a picture, 5 minutes to log into Facebook, and then you help promote it all over our social media, and then they promote to their family and friends, and that's it. It's the easiest thing in the world, and it raises awareness too.
It does. And some of the more successful ones that we've seen are, even with events, is if you log in once a day and you put a fact or a piece of your story in your fundraiser. That way people can know your story or can know a little bit more about CDH. And that way, and it also, I think, bumps it in Facebook's algorithm so that it pops up more often. But then, people know why they're donating, or people know, get to know your story and things like that. So that makes it a little more personal too, if you can just add, a piece of your story every day to your fundraiser.
Yeah, absolutely, it does. And we're doing these cute little graphics for families too, if they want one of those customized graphics for their Facebook fundraisers with their kids' pictures in it. So, because when you make a fundraiser, it throws in one box, and this way it makes it more personal. We're here to help. But so
And just a reminder
Um,
is for the fundraisers on Facebook, we can't see them unless there is a $50 minimum. So if you have a fundraiser and we haven't posted it, it's because we can't see it. So you can either email it to CPAB or make sure that there's a $50 donation in there.
yeah, there. And someone asked me yesterday, I got a message, like, the money that we donate on Facebook, does the charity get it? And yes, sends us money for all the fundraisers, and they don't take out any fees. There's no credit card fee, basically. So we get of all the money that comes through fundraisers, which is better than we can say for any other fundraising platform, because the cost is nothing. So that's really great. So that every dime that a family raises on Facebook goes directly to the charity. So just so they know that.
Yeah.
Facebook doesn't make any money off of us, except for all the advertising, I'm sure. But anyway, but Facebook doesn't make any money off of our fundraisers. And also, I wanted to make sure that families know that we have only a 6% overhead. So everything that we do, it goes back into support services and everything. And we don't have professional fundraisers on staff. We have Nicolle, who does a great job.
Who needs lots of help if you want to help fundraising?
Yes. We can never have too many people on the fundraising team for a charity. Never have too much to help. So anyone who wants to volunteer, please let us know. We will be happy to get started volunteer. Especially we like positive attitude go-getters who have a little bit of experience in fundraising would be super helpful. And then families who fundraise can also dictate where the money goes. So if you want to go to research, you can go to research. If you want to go to support, you can go to support. If you want to go to financial assistance, all you have to do is tell us where you want it to go, and it goes in that fund. And we have no CDH scholarships right now. So if anyone wants to do a fundraiser for a scholarship in their child's name, that's something that families can do, and they can do it every year. You can have a recurring scholarship in your child's name. That's a great legacy to do.
Yeah.
And then we love legacy fundraisers where families do them every year, and people in your community get excited to come to your event every year. And sometimes we'll go, if it's nearby. Like I drove to Indianapolis one year for their car show. Yeah. Let me tell you, that's a long drive from North Carolina to Indianapolis. But it was fun. We even took the mascot with us, and and I've driven to Atlanta for a fundraiser, and we like to be a part of those things because we're so appreciative for families, because we know it's a lot of work, and but we appreciate it because we got lots of families to help and lots of research to do, and we have lots of families in need, especially right now. This virus has kind of thrown everyone into more chaos than what CDH already does. I can't imagine having a baby in the middle of this right now and being uprooted with, to a hospital with the virus. And man, that's just, CDH alone is a nightmare, much less this. And so those families need extra help right now. And we'd like to be able to do that. And because we have a great fundraising team, we can keep the charity going, but there's a lot more that we would really like to do. And I think we covered everything. I want to say we have great new information leaflets on fundraisers with directions that, like, if you email us and say, Nicolle, I want to do a bowl-a-thon for CDH, Nicolle can go, great, I have a brochure for you exactly how to do it. Here you go.
Yes.
Because we got
and
all
if
this
you have any
together.
questions, we can definitely bounce ideas.
Mm-hmm. Great. All right. And anything else you want to say?
I don't.
Nicolle?
I think that we probably covered everything.
Okay, all right. I just want to say thank you for everything, for staying with us for over a decade now, and all the, all the work and fundraising and the CPAB and the things that you've done. Also, as state rep for Colorado, you wear a lot of hats at the charity, and we appreciate everything you do in memory of your Casey. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for everything you do in memory of Shane.
Thank you. All right, we'll see you online.
All right.